studio audience for another exciting edition of Did You Know? And here we go with round one. Did you know?
COVID vaccine is free and easy to get. You don't need insurance or an appointment to get your vaccine. Vaccines are available at many locations near you.
And now we're going to know the value. Did you know?
The COVID-19 vaccine is always free of cost. You can visit pharmacies, community health centers, and other health providers in your neighborhood.
And now for the lightning round. Did you know?
The Delta variant of COVID is a mutation that has health experts worried because it's twice as contagious.
Then for our finale. Did you know?
The COVID Delta variant is get fully vaccinated. Get your vaccine today.
Find out more at kingcounty.gov/vaccine. Did you know?
You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio .world. I'm Granville Emerson along with my partner, Ronald Pepe B. And we host the show Little Line Sports right here on Rainier Avenue Radio .world, where we talk about football, basketball, local sports, national sports, Seahawks, UW, Seattle U Redhawks, Garfield Bulldogs, all that and more right here on Little Line Sports on Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
Welcome to the Fitness Corner. I'm your host, Mark Bryant, and you're going to get a whole total body workout on my show, starting off with a warm-up, aerobic, strength training, cool down, and stretching every Friday from 11:30 to 12 right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.
There is no secret why Downbeat Magazine calls this Seattle's most important annual jazz event. The 33rd Annual Earshot Jazz Festival hits Seattle stages October with one-of-a-kind live jazz performances and video live streams all the way through November 7th. This year's Earshot Jazz Festival features established masters like Diane Reeves, Chuco Valdez, Dee Daniel, and red-hot young stars like Theo Croker, Emmanuel Wilkins, and Samara Joy, celebrating both Seattle's history and its future in the world of jazz. Earshot teams up with community partners like Langston, the Royal Room, and Rainier Avenue Radio to showcase Seattle's own resident artists. Tickets and more information are available online at earshot.org. That's earshot.org. Once again, Seattle's most important annual jazz event, I believe. Earshot Jazz Festival, hitting stages early October all the way through November 7th. Call for more information.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
Hey! Greetings, everyone. This is Brenda Charles-Edwards, the host of Seniors Matter. It's Friday, and I'm excited because I have a very special surprise for you. My guest today is Angela V. Harris. She's a high-impact, collaborative thought leader and a philanthropist with over 20 years of business experience helping companies develop technology solutions. But also, she is the chartering president of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Incorporated for Greater Seattle chapter. And she has a lot of high-energy people with her, and one of her special people is Miko Lawson, who is my sister in the National Council of Negro Women. Angela, you are so blessed. Welcome.
Thank you, Brenda, for having me here today.
It's my pleasure. You guys are doing so much, and Miko has recently been talking about the 100 Black Women Incorporated. So when you know that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I've been talking with a number of different people, but when she sent me this article about what you guys were doing in the event that you're having on Sunday, October 31st at 2:00 called Check Yourself, Awareness Power?
Awareness is power, yes.
Yeah, awareness is power. I thought, oh, now this sounds interesting. So I want to talk about you, but now let me talk about you first, and then we'll talk about the event. So you look so young to have done all that you've done. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, you guys, you have no clue. So I could tell you a few things, but I'm going to let Angela tell you a few things about herself. And if she should forget something or miss something, I'll just drop it in. Go ahead, Miss Angela.
All right. Well, I'm a technology professional by day. I work for Microsoft, where I'm currently a senior product marketing manager. And outside of work, I'm involved in several organizations. I serve on the Drexel University Alumni Board of Governors, as well as the Drexel University Black Alumni Council. And in terms of my philanthropy, I have 2 scholarships at my undergraduate alma mater, which is Drexel University and LaSalle University. And they are $5,000 award scholarships that support African American students studying technology. And most recently, I was just elected as the chartering president of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Greater Seattle Chapter.
And I think that's great that you've managed to achieve a status where you could give back, because so many of us want to give back, but we can't always give back financially to help those kids where you stick out your hand and you bring them up with you.
Yes, I believe in lifting while you climb, and education has always been something that's been very important to me. I'm a first generation college graduate. My parents attended segregated schools, but they made a way for me to receive an education, and I was very privileged, and I want to do my part to pay it back and pay it forward to other people.
Well, it sounds like you've been doing just that, and I commend you. I think that is just really wonderful.
Thank
And
you.
you, let's see, what was I gonna say? Okay, so you're a contributing author on a book. Tell us about this book.
Yes, as I mentioned, I'm a part of the Drexel University Black Alumni Council, and there are about 50 Drexel alumni that are going to be putting together an anthology called, I'm sorry, the name's escaping me at the moment, but
A legacy to share, navigating life's challenges and celebrating our greatest achievements. It's more than a mouthful. It's okay.
Yes, it is. And the book will be launching in January of 2022, and the proceeds from the book will go towards the scholarship to support current African-American students at Drexel University.
How many do you have? Do you know how many students, African-American students?
The Black population of Drexel is about 8%, and I believe the total enrollment of Drexel is about 24,000 students.
Oh, wow. I mean, I know it's 8%, but still, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. Gosh, I'm just so pleased to meet you, because you're definitely someone, like I said, looks younger than all of that she's done. But I can feel your energy, and I just think that it's wonderful that you're giving back, so our future can have a future.
Yes, I feel like if not me, then who? And I feel it's my duty just to pay it forward.
Exactly. That is beautiful. I know that you have a famous quote by Gandhi. Would you mind sharing it?
Yes, I'm deeply inspired by Gandhi's famous quote, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And that's actually one of the reasons why I started the scholarship. African-American women are severely underrepresented in the technology field, and we only make up 3% of the tech industry. And that number has remained flat for many years. And I came to a point where I realized the reason why I didn't receive scholarships as an undergraduate or grad student is because most of the people that are starting scholarships don't look like me. So I had to be the change that I wanted to see.
Absolutely. That is wonderful. So can you tell us a little bit about the National Coalition of 100 Black Women?
Absolutely. The National Coalition was actually established in October of 1981, and its mission is to advocate on behalf of Black women and girls to promote leadership development and gender equity in the areas of health, education, and economic empowerment. And the Greater Seattle chapter was chartered September 12th, 2021 by 38 phenomenal women coming from various counties in terms of Pierce County, Snohomish County, King County. So within a 50-mile radius of the Greater Seattle area. And I'm just excited to be a part of this organization where we are here to advocate on behalf of Black women and girls in this area and drive change.
Wow. I mean, boy, that went. So next year when we have Black History Month, you better be listed.
Yes, I like to dream big. So yes.
Oh man. So tell us a little bit about the event that's coming up.
Absolutely. Well, we're having our inaugural event this Sunday, October 31st at 2 p.m. It's a virtual event and it's free and it's open to anyone. And the event is Check Yourself, Awareness is Power. And it's a breast cancer awareness event. We have a renowned breast cancer surgeon, Dr. Regina Hampton, who hails from the Prince George's County, Maryland area. She's a doctor at Doctors Community Hospital. She'll be delivering a keynote, and we're taking an approach where we talk about before the diagnosis, at the diagnosis, and after the diagnosis. And we're also going to have a panel of survivors share their stories and their journeys, as well as self-care tips and what helped them through the process.
Is she by any chance African-American?
Yes, she is.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yes, that, and I know October has been designated as the, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but as you know, as women and Black women, we need to check ourselves every month. And I remember someone told me many years ago, if you want a date to pick your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the fifth, like for me, it's the 15th of the month. So that's when I'm supposed to check. So I think that's a good key because we get so busy and we forget, like, okay, now when was I supposed to do this? Oh, yes, on my birth date. So not date, birthday, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So anyway, I've heard so many things going on. Are you familiar with Sierra Sisters?
No, I'm not.
Okay, you guys need to connect because Bridget is a founder of Sierra Sisters. When she was 35 years old, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, but they wouldn't let her have a mammogram because they said she was too young.
Wow.
But she knew something was wrong. And so God said to keep proceeding. And so finally she got her mammogram. And that's when she found out she had breast cancer.
Wow.
And so, which she was on last week. And, one of the things that Bridget says, and she has a support group. That's what Sierra Sisters is. And it's for men and women. And you just can't, for me, I had two, my mom had 4 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of them died of breast cancer, one at age 50 and one at age 70. And then another sister died of pancreatic cancer, but her only daughter got breast cancer.
Wow.
I can't remember how old she was because I've been her patient advocate for the last 5 years. And it's been a journey. I've learned a lot. I probably more than I would really want to know. But knowledge is power.
Yes.
So I'm glad that I have it. And I'm glad that you guys are going to be sharing with as many people as will attend it. And I hope everyone listening to this show will attend this because you are going to get, a bountiful of information. And saying that from a surgeon. Oh my gosh.
Yes. And also survivors, people that have experienced this firsthand, and they're going to share what the journey was like for them. And in addition to what helped them, cope with the journey.
Right. And I have a friend that's going through that right now, and she's getting ready to do another round of chemo. And like I said, I was my cousin's patient advocate. I don't know the feeling, but I understand the process because I went through it with my cousin. But, you need support. You need people that care about you and to do little things for you. I mean, it doesn't have to be a big thing. You can send a text message. You can send a card. I mean, or, just any little thing.
Yeah.
And with COVID, it may be hard to visit someone, but at least, we can be in communication with them.
Yes.
And I think that's crucial. And I'm sure you guys are going to be talking about that too.
Yeah, and I would also say with COVID, many people have probably postponed their, preventative health exams, particularly mammograms. So that's why we're having Dr. Hampton talk to us about the safety of getting your mammograms or the importance of continuing to get your mammograms during this, pandemic. And also a lot of people have lost their jobs and they may not have access to healthcare currently. We're going to provide resources where they can get mammograms.
Oh, wonderful. And you're absolutely right about with the pandemic and women postponing. My mother and I have been, I don't know how many years now, 10 years, have had a date, a standing date where we go get our mammograms. And we used to do breakfast afterwards, but the restaurant that we always went to closed. So now I go to her house and she fixed me breakfast.
Oh, that's nice. I like the buddy system approach.
Yes. So we were supposed to go yesterday to get our mammograms, but we got our booster shot on Tuesday, and she heard on the radio. She loves the radio. She's, she'll watch TV, but she always listens to the radio. That's that era. But she heard that if you get the booster shot, you're supposed to wait before getting your mammogram. And I said, wait, how long? I said, please call the, the breast cancer place we're going, screening place, and ask them, how long do we need to wait? She calls me back later and she says, what are you doing on December 22nd?
Okay.
I said, what? What do you mean? What am I doing on December 22nd? She said, that's when our mammogram is scheduled. We have to wait at least 6 weeks before we can get the mammogram.
Wow. And that's good information to know.
And I was just like, what? But, that's okay because we're going to get it done. And we got our booster shots at the same time. So it's all good. So what else can you tell us about yourself? And especially with the university, because you're also involved with LaSalle's University IT Advisory Board, right?
Yes, I recently joined their advisory board. And with that, we do mentoring for the students. We host an annual award ceremony where we recognize alumni that is a leader in the technology industry, and also just provide insights to the current professors in terms of the curriculum.
So do you ever do any work with senior centers?
I have not directly, but that's something I would be open to.
You really need to get connected with two in particular.
Okay.
Central Area Senior Center and the Southeast Seattle Senior Center, because they do have some tech classes, but I think that they would benefit greatly by your expertise. And because I know a lot of our seniors don't get the opportunity to use a computer and understand it, because there are a lot of Zoom meetings going on now with COVID.
And it's not going away.
And it's not going away. And I try to, at my church, I try to help folks with getting on Zoom. And, sometimes it isn't always easy because you have to think differently. You have to put things in small baby steps and bites.
Yes.
And not BYTES.
I like that.
So, but I think, if I know you're busy, but if you get an opportunity and, if you're interested, I would be more than happy to introduce you to the executive directors of those two organizations.
Thank you. I welcome that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, because when I saw them about the IT part of you, and I said, I knew there was the Microsoft, and I thought, but she would be good in helping, or at least directing them in a way to really help them. Because one of the other things that's going on with the seniors is getting the qualification for having their property taxes reduced.
Okay.
And that's a big thing. And it's a lot of seniors don't know about it, and they don't know how to go about it. And it's detailed, but it's worth it in the end, especially when most of the seniors I know do qualify.
Okay.
So they need to take advantage of it, because in the Seattle central area in particular, the property taxes are just crazy. And I say that because I grew up in the CD. My mom still lives there and she owns her house. But now, she's having to pay up until just recently, because we did get her the property tax exemption. Or if my brother is listening, I should say my brother got her the property tax exemption. But I'm going to claim it too.
Okay. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh, I like that. Yes, most definitely. So now, we were talking about, can you talk a little bit more about the scholarships that you're giving out at the 2 locations?
Yes, I'm happy to talk about the scholarship. It is a $5,000 award. And honestly, if you would have asked me, would I ever have a scholarship or would I ever be a philanthropist? It was something I really didn't envision for myself, because a lot of times you only hear about the billionaires like the Oprah Winfrey's of the world or the Mackenzie Mosses who are giving $1 million donations to universities. So it seems something that's unattainable for the average person like myself, especially being a single Black woman working in corporate America who's, facing the wealth gap. It just seems so unattainable. And I happened to have a conversation with someone from the university. They were actually talking to me about my involvement with the Alumni Association, but I just simply asked the question, how does somebody start a scholarship? And again, I had the perception that you had to be a billionaire and make, $1 million donations. And that's when I learned that at Drexel University, they have something called a current use scholarship. And the funding levels are at $2,500 or $5,000. And I know in my case, I was very passionate about wanting to help a student that looked like me, particularly a Black female student. And in order to do that, I would need to donate at the $5,000 level, because I would be able to put those specific parameters on my award. And literally, I just took a plunge and wrote a check for $5,000 out of my bank account to start the scholarship. And what started as one $5,000 award has grown to supporting 4 students. And I started the scholarship in 2017. And I think I shared that I like to dream big. And in 2018, I had this big idea that I wanted to start paying my birthdays forward. I wanted to encourage my family and friends to donate to my scholarship rather than give me money or gifts. And I went to the university and, pitched the idea to them. And thankfully, they were very supportive. And so they agreed to create a specific fundraising page for my scholarship. And it was November 1st, 2018, my fundraising page went live. And by December 31st of 2018, I had raised an additional $5,000 for my scholarship. So I was able to go from giving 1 award to 2 awards. And since joining Microsoft, I'm very fortunate that Microsoft has a very generous corporate match. They match up to $15,000 in philanthropic contributions, and I've taken advantage of that. So that's allowed me to increase my scholarship. And overall, since 2017, I've raised close to $75,000 for my scholarship between personal funds and additional contributions. And last year alone, we raised about $29,000.
You go, girl. You go. See, I told you she's energetic and she's just like, she's dynamic, folks. She is the real deal.
Thank you. I have to just add this. My very first scholarship recipient, she actually just graduated from Drexel this past June. She graduated cum laude. She delivered the student address for her college commencement ceremony, and she just joined Microsoft last month as a program manager. So it's been amazing to see her grow. I met her when she was a sophomore in college, and now she is entering the workforce. And I have my next student from Drexel set to graduate this coming June as well.
So you're also a coach, right?
Yeah, I am a certified career and life coach. And for me, coaching was very pivotal in my career. I was fortunate from 2018 into 2019 to participate in a leadership development program specifically for women of color in the tech industry. And that came along with executive coaching, and it really helped propel my career. And I just want to create access and have other people experience what I experienced. And also, this comes from my passion of wanting to give back, and the lack of mentorship or lack of support that I received very early on in my career. I've learned a lot along the way. I have a lot of battle scars, and I just want to make the road easier for those coming behind me.
So did you coach this young lady that is graduating? Or graduated?
Yes. Interesting story. I feel like a serendipitous encounter brought us together. We met at it was a college event at Drexel. And she was actually one of the student speakers. And as I was hearing her story and hearing her speak, I felt like I was looking at a younger version of myself. She started college as a computer science major. So did I. We both changed our majors to information systems during our sophomore years of college. We were both very passionate about women in tech initiatives. And she had just started an organization for freshman female student studying technology, and I had no idea that she would go on to get my scholarship. The scholarship, I don't have a say in who gets the scholarships other than saying that the criteria has to be African-American male or female. The financial aid office determines who receives my award. And fast forward, she went on to receive my scholarship, but we'd already formed a mentoring relationship just off of that one meeting together.
Isn't that amazing? Well, I mean, that was obviously meant to be.
Yes, it was.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that is just so exciting. You just don't even know, because it's just so wonderful to talk to another Black woman that is making a way for other young Black women who are future.
Thank you.
Have a better life, and then hopefully they will reach back and pull somebody.
Yes.
With
yes.
them.
And I will say the young lady who
on.
received my first scholarship, she's already reaching back. I want to say it was probably her junior year in college. She was so inspired by what I was doing that she also paid her birthday forward. She's an international student. She grew up in Nigeria. She lived in Germany, and her parents also lived in Scotland prior to her relocating to the United States. I want to say her junior or senior year in college. And as international students, you don't qualify for most financial aid. You can't really apply for scholarships or loans. And so although she was a student receiving financial aid herself and still in need of financial aid, she did a crowdfunding campaign to raise about $4,000 for other international students.
Oh.
So she's already starting to pay it forward herself.
Right. Oh, that was great. So now, do you know why they don't get the scholarships? I mean, why they don't qualify?
I think it probably relates to the citizenship requirement. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know she said that she wasn't eligible to apply for loans. And a lot of, I guess, aid is you have to do the FAFSA for aid, and I think you have to be a U.S. citizen to apply for that.
Sure. It's been a while since I've been in school. Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about my first year of college. I paid for it myself. And then ran out of money. So the next year I told my mom, I said, well, I'm going to stay out of school and work and, save some more money and go back. And she said, if you go to work, you won't go back to college. So her and my dad paid for the rest of my college. Yeah, and when I look back on things, I thought, well, Mom, you were pretty smart, because you're probably right. I probably wouldn't have gone back.
Yes.
So she wanted me to have that degree.
Yes. And I can definitely relate to that. As I said, I was a first generation student. Actually, both my parents passed from cancer. My mother died from cancer when I was 3. And my father died from cancer when I was 21 at the start of my senior year at Drexel, but he was paying for my education. And actually, that's one of the reasons why we have the scholarship today. After he passed away, I remember calling the financial aid office to say, hey, both my parents are now deceased. I'm not working. Is there anything that you can do? And I was told no. But thankfully, my father was a steward of his money, and there was money available for me to finish my education. And that experience, motivated me to want to pay it forward at some point and help a student so they wouldn't have to hear those words, there's nothing we can do.
Right. And there's something they could have done.
Exactly. But I feel like, I didn't let that harden me, because if that experience had not happened to me, we probably wouldn't have the scholarship today.
There you go. See, things happen for a reason.
Yes.
We may not know it at the time, but then look what you've been able to do. I just think it's so wonderful. We're almost out of time, but can you tell my audience how they can register for the event on Sunday?
Yes, you can go to bit.ly/NCBW Seattle and register for our event. It's Sunday, October 31st at 2 p.m. Pacific time. And it's a free event. So please share it with all your friends and family.
Well, I think it's so exciting. It's so cool. And thank you again to Miko for sending out the information to the NCNW group, because that's, like I said, that's how I saw it. And I thought, oh my gosh, would I be able to get someone to come on? And then Miko said, the president said, I said, the president, I said, oh my gosh, thank you, Lord. So this has been really exciting. I just thank you so much, and I wish you the best. And I know you have a great team.
Yes, we do.
Maybe one day I'll meet you in person.
Yes, I would love to meet you in person.
Thank you. Well, folks, it's almost that time. I want to thank you for listening. I'm going to thank special thanks to Miss Angela V. Harris for being here today and sharing a little bit of her life with us. And just know that dream big, because anything is possible. Anything is possible. So up next is the coronavirus update. Be safe, keep those masks on, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Bye, Angela. We'll talk later.
Bye. Thank you, Brenda.
You're welcome, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is Paul Pearson.